Hey guys, Courtney here, and I just wanted to do a really quick video on the uses of bamboo. Then after that, I wanted to show y'all real quick how to make a powder measure. Um, so it'll be really easy, but before I get into that, just wanted to show y'all a few things that I made and a few other things that, and a few other uses of bamboo. So, um, I guess I'll go ahead and get into that, and hope y'all enjoy. Okay guys, bamboo is a very multifunctional source. If you come across bamboo in a survival situation, you got food, water, shelter, firewood, not much more that you can need, but real quick, I got a few things right here that I already got made. This right here is a water canteen made out of bamboo. It's completely closed off, has a little stopper in the top, and the joint right here, it's broken out. So this whole thing is a water canteen, has a strap and everything on it. So there's one thing you can make out of bamboo, pretty neat. Good if you're out in the woods, you'll have a canteen on you, doesn't take much work at all. All you have to do is basically ram a hole through this joint and a hole through the middle joint. And you don't even have to have this whole other section, you could just cut it off right under this joint. Just have a smaller canteen, easier to carry. But then for the strap, all we did was drill a hole in the top and in the bottom, and it serves as a shoulder strap that you can just throw it over your shoulder and carry around with you out in the woods. Then right here, I got a cup, just got it cut off at right underneath the joint and cut off a bit above it, and it makes a pretty good cup. As you can tell, this bamboo is pretty old. I probably made this stuff about a year ago at an Everglades Advanced class, but this cup, it works pretty well. I mean, it still works, so I'm pretty happy with it. Then another thing that I got made, actually I think my dad made this one. It's a crawfish trap. I actually did a video on it using a Coke can or Mountain Dew can or something like that. And this is the same exact thing except it's made out of bamboo. I'll give y'all a close-up really quick. See guys, it's the same exact thing, got the hole drilled through it, and it has the spikes, and just a regular crawfish trap. Just the only difference, it's made out of bamboo. Okay guys, there's a few things that I had made probably about a year ago, like I said, but really quick before I get into the powder horn or powder measure thing, I just wanted to talk about a few other uses. I don't have them with me, but just want to talk about them real quick. A few other things you can make out of bamboo would be like, you can make fishing poles out of it. It would have to be a lot longer than this, of course, probably about 7 to 8 feet. Or you can make fly rod, whichever you're more happy with. Probably a lot easier to make a fishing pole. Again, you can make cups, containers, traps. You can also make cooking utensils. And also, if you come across a stand of bamboo, the young shoots are edible. I mean, of course, a piece this big, I wouldn't recommend eating it, but the little ones that are just shooting out of the ground, those are nice and tender. I know in China, I believe, or somewhere over there, they eat those all the time. I heard it's a delicacy. I never had it, but I've heard they're edible. Then I'd be careful though, because some of the species of bamboo, they have some kind of, I think it's called cyanide in it, and I'm pretty sure that's not good for you. So I do my research before I actually ate it. Then another thing, if you come across a bamboo groove, you got water in some species, and the joints, they'll have water in them. All you have to do is tap into it and put a little spigot thing and let water drip into a bucket or something. You got a water resource right there. A few other uses would be, you can make, let's see, probably out of a piece this size, about the size of your thumb or one of your fingers, you can make straws out of them for blowing coals. Like if you're burning out a bowl, you can use it to blow coals and help that become a lot faster. Or make a filtration device for water and whatnot. Then you can make bamboo when it's dry. It's a good firewood or kindling. You can also make, with probably pieces about this size also, you can make a bedroll mat. Bit bigger than this, you can make signal whistles. Then bamboo also makes good shelters. I know in China, places like that, they got whole houses made out of bamboo, even roads actually. But another thing you can make out of bamboo would be a frog gig or a fishing spear. Those would be pretty easy to make. I'll probably do a video on one of those before too long, but I thought those always looked pretty cool. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get into making my powder measure. Show y'all how to do that real quick, and I guess I will get right back to y'all once I get everything set up. Okay guys, here's the stuff you're going to need for your powder measure. Of course you're going to need a piece of bamboo. I'd say probably about the diameter of your thumb at least, or at most or whatever. It depends on what size thumb you have. Mine is small, so it would be at least in that. And of course you're going to need a powder measure. This one I got at Walmart, I believe, and you can get them at many places, gun shops, Bass Pro Shops, places like that. You're going to need a saw. My multi-tool got one on it right here, so I'll just use that. Then you're going to need some sand or dirt of some type. It can be pretty much dust or something that would be easy to... You can actually even use gunpowder, so just something that would be easy to put in here and measure out the powder, amount of powder you're going to need. So I'm just going to use sand for it. I don't want to spill any gunpowder or anything. So pretty much the first thing that you're going to want to do is just cut off a section of bamboo that you're going to use. I'm going to cut right below this joint right here. I'm just going to use pretty much this general area right in here. So if you cut below this joint, you won't have to worry about filling the bottom in with wax or some kind of material like that, because you'll already have the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Just cut it right below the joint. Okay guys, here's where I got it. I got the section I won't cut off. See how if you cut below the joint, that part will be closed off right there. So you won't have to worry about making your own stopper or whatever, however you want to do that for the bottom of your powder measure. Same thing goes for if you're making a container or whatever, cup or something like that. But anyways, the next thing you're going to want to do is just figure out what measuring you want. I'm going to go ahead, I like using 70 grains pretty much for shotgun or whatever, so I'm going to go ahead and set it to 70 grains. Then you're going to want to fill your powder measure up with sand or whatever you're going to use to 70 grains. Let's see if I can do this without making too big of a mess. Yeah. Okay. You can go ahead and close it up. So that's 70 grains right there. Basically most of this bamboo, most of this will probably come off. So before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and cut about half of this off, maybe a bit more, because most of that I'm not even going to use. I'm just going to cut it off as straight as I can. Doesn't really matter quite yet. Okay, so next step I'm going to do after I cut that, what I think I won't be needing off, I'm just going to pour the sand in there and see how much more I got I'm going to need to be cut off. Okay, so I got about a good inch left. So I'm going to cut it about right there. Then I'm just going to pour the stuff back in there. Oops. Probably put a bit more there for good measure. so again I'm probably going to cut about an inch or so off. You want to get this as close as you can. I mean, it's not that much of a big deal if it's a few grains off, but I say it's pretty close now, but I'm just going to go ahead and check again, see how close we got it. Well, it's pretty close. You can see it's about, I don't know, an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch off. Not really good on measurements, especially just by looking at it, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut off a bit more and see what we got after that. Okay guys, got that section cut off. I'm just going to go ahead and remeasure it with the sand one last time to see how close I am. Just pour it on in there real quick. I'd say that's pretty close. I mean, can't get much perfect than that. So I'd say I'm done with it. I think one of the things I forgot to do and would have done if I would have thought of it is made this bottom a bit longer. And I could be able to do it, but I would have drilled a hole right here so I could put maybe a piece of leather or some kind of cordage through to attach it to my powder horn or whatever I'm going to use it with. But that's just how you make a powder measure out of bamboo, or pretty much any kind of material, metal, pipe, whatever you want to use. Well guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Hope y'all learned a few tips and tricks, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe.